Brilliant. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. And today I'd like you to meet Adam. Now, since about the beginning of the year, Adam, isn't it? Sorry?
The 5th of January.
Well, I was close, wasn't I? You couldn't get much closer to the beginning of the year than that. Adam decided to consult us to get some help with losing weight. Adam, right. Do you mind starting from the very beginning, before Christmas? Let's go back before Christmas. Where were you with your weight? Where were you with your relationship with food? And then what made you decide to come and seek help?
Yeah, so I've always struggled with food. I've always had a bad relationship with food. It's been a way of sort of escape, really, comfort food. And before Christmas, I was probably at the heaviest I've ever been. I was 22.5 stone. And it got to a point where it was the main thing on my mind was to get down the shop and get something bad, something that I could lean on. And there was no real reason. I'd just fallen into a deeper trap of wanting bad food. I'd always had it in my life. It was always something that was, as a teenager, when you start earning your money, and sometimes you don't look after yourself, it's easy to go out and get your sweets and all that rubbish. And yeah, so last year, I then become aware that I started to sort of manipulate my wife at times. We'd have dinner and then I'd say things like, oh, do we need more washing up liquid? Do we need anything down the shop? There'd be no reason to go down the shop, but I'd want to go down the shop to get something. There'd be times where I'd be taking a chip off of my son's plate or trying to sneak one of his Haribos from his sweet box, and we don't try and have that stuff in the house anymore. So the relationship with food was then, it was becoming more and more deep, and it wasn't healthy at all. Where it was I could see it was coming between me and the family, even though they weren't aware of it. And diets, I've tried diets in the past, but for me, a diet it's a quick fix, but over a short-term period. You can get rid of the weight, but you're not going to be having your shakes or your weight loss meals forever. That's not a way that you can live forever.
Jeez.
So the diets, it wasn't going to work for me. And I've always been an active person, sports and gym. And one day I was listening to a podcast, and I can't tell you which podcast it was. It might have been a Joe Rogan. It might have been one of those big ones. And it was mentioned about hypnotherapy. So I didn't even understand really what the word was. The hypno part. The only thing I can associate with the hypno part was Paul McKenna.
Yeah.
So I thought, oh, okay. This is interesting. And again, the only part of hypno I've ever had in my life was one of these guys abroad in a bar when you're on holiday, and he hypnotizes people. And I've seen it once, and you sort of wonder, and you're skeptical. But I Googled hypnotherapy, Southampton. I found you guys and instantly spoke to you guys online, and you were fantastic. You embraced me. You said, come in, let's have a chat, which I did. And then, yeah, we went from, so I love Christmas, and I said, can we get Christmas out of the way, financially, and just sort of the food that's going to be around me. I'm trying to be good, but I don't want to put any pressure on myself. And also I don't want to sort of darken Christmas. I love Christmas, everyone, family together and things like that. So yeah, we started in January, and I still, even to this day, 9 months later, I still cannot get my head around how simple I look at food now, how brainwashed we all are, and just how much of a change my mindset is. And it's automatic. This is the scariest thing, really. It's automatic. There's no need to go down the shop. When you queue up for petrol, there's no need to grab the Mars bar at the side of you when you're waiting to pay. Things like that.
So can we go back, Adam, to right at the very start, prior to you, because you came in and saw us at the office first of all, and then you continued, excuse me, with the Think, Eat, Sleep repeat course once you got yourself back in a better place. What was that defining moment? Apart from hearing the podcast, what was the defining moment that made you think, do you know what was it? You said 22 stone.
Yeah, yeah.
I need to sort this out. What was there one moment then you could kind of had that light bulb moment? I need to sort this out now.
It was just the fact that I could see it coming between me and my wife, but my wife couldn't see it. I was manipulating her.
So you were when you talked about going down the shop,
Yeah,
and do we need washing up liquid?
yeah.
You were going down to buy washing up liquid, but you
I,
were buying food and then eating it on the way back?
well, there would be times where I would buy a bag of chocolate, but I'd also buy a Mars bar for the journey home.
Right. Okay.
So she, one day a week, she works in London. That would be my day where I could do the school run, and on the way back from the school run, dive into the shop, big bag of crisps, bag of donuts, a bag of chocolate, a sandwich for lunch, big bottle of milkshake, because I love milkshake. And it was just like, while the cat's away. And if my wife was here, I wouldn't have done that, because I'm letting myself down, I'm letting my wife down, and it's not a good example to my son. So that was the light bulb moment, because at that point there wasn't any. That was probably the lowest point. I wasn't sad in myself, but I knew that the situation had to change. I had to get a grip of this relationship with food, because it was that bad. I was almost every night, do you want some Maltesers? Because she loves Maltesers. Yeah, I could do with some Maltesers. That was a green light for me. Quick, get my trainers on before she changes her mind, or she talks me out, or she's the sensible one. I'm out the door with the car keys, not even walking to the shop, which is 5 minutes away. So that's when things had to change.
We've all been there. And, I feel your pain. I'm going back in the day before James and I created the very first program that we shared with clients in the practice. I was in a very, very similar place myself, Adam. So we all know how that feels. So let's move on to the 5th of January. So you were booked in, you came along, you started therapy. How long was it before you noticed a change in your relationship with food?
I don't want to say instantly, because as soon as I came out of the first session, there was a change, because I wanted it. I wanted that change. And the guidelines were almost more enforced in my head than anything else at that time. So I was conscious that when I was having a meal, to take my time, to put my fork down, to do the things that the guideline says. And they're simple guidelines, and they make sense, and they actually make you enjoy food more, because you're appreciating it and you're taking your time. So that was sort of the first, right, okay. And when you start doing things in routine, they become second nature. And that was what was happening. It was, oh, right, okay, we've got leftovers, and right, let's be a little bit more active, and we're definitely not going down the shop. And then you walk into the petrol station, you realise, oh, hang on, I don't need to reach over to the left-hand side of the till and get something. It's, oh, okay. So within a month, not even that, probably, I want to say 2 to 3 sessions, it completely changed. I think the first session, and I think everyone, you're just wondering, what's the reaction going to be like? How am I going to react to this? And where is the change? But when you take a step back and analyze yesterday or the last week, what have I eaten and how have I been? That's when it was like, wow, this is incredible.
Yeah. How much money have you saved?
You'd have to ask the wife. I mean, the Amazon man seems to be turning up more and more these days with clothes and shoes and this, that, and the other. But yeah, it's for me, as I say, every other day, every day, every evening, trying to get some food. And yeah, I'm saving money. But again, it's sort of, you don't really look on that, and the shops I'm not going into anymore. So saving on fuel as well.
Absolutely. And Adam, do you mind sharing with us how much fat you've got rid of up until now?
Yeah, so it's 4 stone I've got rid of. And that's to get rid of that amount of weight is, I've had to get rid of clothes, and I'm not out of breath now when I'm climbing the stairs or when I'm going on a walk. I mean, we go away at weekends and the wife likes to go for a hike. And I remember last year we went for a long walk to a waterfall, and she loves waterfalls. So it was obviously we were going to go. I couldn't actually talk to her when I got back to the van. I was out of breath and I was so frustrated with myself. I was actually really angry with myself that I'm in this position, that I'm wheezing and I'm sweating, and it's the middle of October. It wasn't even warm. Where now it's, yeah, I actually want to hold 4 stone at some point. And the closest I've come is when we went on holiday a couple of weeks ago, and the suitcase was 16 kilograms.
Okay.
And you're trying to lift it out of the boot of the car, and it's, God, that's heavy. And you're thinking, well, hang on, what's 16 kilograms? So I actually haven't done that conversion, but I know how much 16 kilograms in a suitcase is.
It really does bring it home to you, doesn't it? That you were carrying that weight, that suitcase around with you all day, every day.
Yeah.
No wonder you were exhausted.
Yeah.
No wonder you didn't feel great. No wonder you had aches and pains.
Yeah.
But yeah, we need to do that, Adam. We need to set up. We'll find something that weighs 4 stone, and we'll get you to walk around with it for a day.
No.
But it is like you say, finding something that really, a concrete, I don't mean 4 stone of concrete, but something concrete that you can relate to, that really brings out, wow, that's 4 stone. That's what I was carrying around with me all the time. And it really does bring it home. Now, you carried on and you joined Think, Eat, Sleep, Repeat. How's that been for you?
That's been a godsend, because there are other people on the same journey as well. They might have a different approach, or they might have different reasonings, or they might have a different weight to get rid of, but we're all in the same scenario. So that camaraderie and the bond, and the fact that we can all lean on each other and open up with each other and share, you can't replace that. And I think it just motivates and pushes everyone on every time we speak. And it's such a big thing. It's when we can share things on the community, and it's just a game changer. Honestly, everyone needs to have, excuse me, everyone needs to have that availability when they're going through something like this, just to know that they're not on their own.
The support and the accountability, isn't it? Makes such a difference.
Yeah. And the thing is, sorry, Sue, the thing is, when you're going through this, it opens your eyes up to everything. It opens your eyes up to marketing and all these different things. And those things, especially if you can share those things with all the other people like we do in our groups, and just let them know that I mean, even today, well, no, sorry, it's yesterday, I was thinking about the supermarket, and it made me think, hang on, whenever you walk into a supermarket, what's the first aisle that you go to? What's the first aisle that you're drawn to? It's the fruit and veg. So I Googled last night, why is it the fruit and veg aisle was the first aisle you walk into? And a couple of the answers were saying, well, it's because the supermarket brands, they want you to go through the boring stuff first so you can get to the good stuff. You can go get your fruit and your veg, but then a couple of hours down, you're going to have your chocolates and your cakes. But your mind then says, oh, right, okay, well, I've got my fruit and veg. I can have this as well then. So it's all marketing.
It's so clever, isn't it?
Well, it's clever and deceiving as well.
And we just don't realise how it's being subliminally suggested to us. It's like the positioning. That's why when we talk on the group about rearranging your kitchen, and people, why do I need to rearrange kitchen? Well, you want to market to yourself all the good, healthy, nourishing foods that you have.
Yeah.
High level. So when you open the fridge, you might be opening the fridge to get a bottle of milk out for your cup of tea, but what you want suggested are the fresh, healthy foods. So even though you're not going to the fridge for that, subliminally, it's being suggested to you when you open the cupboard door at eye level, the healthy options that you want suggested to you. Anything that you have to have in the house because somebody else wants it, put it up high or down low. And when you think about it, supermarkets are the same. Everything they want you to buy,
Yeah.
they either put it at the end of the aisle so it really stands out, or they put it at eye level. It's not very often, unless you're looking for something specific, that you look up above or down below. You normally just, oh, one of them, one of them. And quite often, as you're going along, at eye level, there's something, and you think, wonder what that's like. I'll try one of those, where you wouldn't have thought about it otherwise. Make sense?
Oh yeah, usually everyone loves bargain, and when you see that yellow ticket or label underneath a pack of biscuits or whatever, you go straight for it. You might not have tried them before. You wouldn't have even picked them up if they weren't on sale. And again, it's something like the tea and coffee aisle, or the next aisle to the tea and coffee aisle is your biscuit aisle, because the supermarket brands know they go hand in hand. So it's all, when you start to realise and look at different things. I mean, I could be here all day talking about things that I've seen only in the last few months. I mean, I've even talking to supermarkets. Sorry, so talking to supermarkets. I have set my wife and me a challenge for our next weekly shop. We're not going to go to a supermarket.
Okay.
We're going to be able to do it from the farm shop or the garden centre, however you want to say, and the butchers.
I love that.
Because there's nothing else that you need in the supermarket apart from, all right, you might need cleaning products and your smellies, but you can get those from your chemist or your hardware store. But
Really,
you could do weekly.
I love that. Perhaps we'll set a challenge up.
That's what I've said to the wife. I've said we'll do a challenge where we can do our weekly shop in the butchers and in the garden centre or the farm shop, however you want to say. Because my local one, they even freeze their veg and their fruit. They have it in one of these big chest freezers, and they freeze it at the point where it's got the most nutrition value in each fruit. So it's peak, and so you've even got the frozen option there. And I mean, not our one. They even sell other things as well aside from just fruit and veg. It's so yeah. The other option. And I think this is sort of me speaking to other people that might see this. You don't need to go to the supermarket to do your shopping. You could always do it online. And the benefit of online is you're not seeing things that you would normally, that you'd see, go, oh, right, I might try that because it's on sale. Online shopping, you've got the choice that if you wanted to go into the bread or bakery, you can, but you don't need to click that button. And it saves you time going out. And the time that you're saving, you can use then to walk around the block or to go on the bike or go swimming for an hour. So, yeah, there's a couple of challenges there that I think we're going to look at.
Fantastic. I love that farm shop. Do you know what? I think we'll definitely do that on our next Monday meeting. We'll do the challenge and see who else is up for seeing how much they can do at their local farm shop and their local butchers. Adam, do you find that you are more motivated to move around more now? Now, I know you're very active anyway, and I know you're involved with your football.
Yeah.
And it's with a charity, isn't it, that you play for?
Yeah.
A bit more about that.
Yeah, so the charity I play for is Sands United Solent. So we're based down on the south coast, and we're built up. We're a team of dads that have sadly lost babies, or they could be uncles, brothers. There's some way connected, sadly, to baby loss. But we're a group of dads that have come together. We've all got different stories, but the same sad outcome. But we're there for each other, and the main thing is that new dads and new families that go through that tragedy, we're there for them. So yeah, we play in the league, normal Sunday league games, and then we've got charity games, awareness games, friendlies. So yeah, it's and we're all brothers. We've been around since 2019, but it's the closest bunch of men that I know in my life. And as I say, it's a team that you don't really want to have created, but we're all bonded together with football, and that's the main thing. And we meet every week. Last night I had training with the guys, and again this Sunday is the start of the season. So yeah, Sands United Solent, but there's loads of Sands teams around the UK. So if anyone is affected, just pop online. You'll see the charity, but you'll also see the football teams that are dotted around.
We thank you for sharing that, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of people that won't be aware of things like that. Adam, your football friends, have they noticed a difference in you?
They think I'm ill. I've had a couple of times now where they've come up to me, and I missed a couple of weeks of football because we were away and I had an injury, and so there was probably about a month, 6 weeks where I wasn't there, and I came back, and in the space of 2 weeks, I had two separate guys coming up to me going, "Is everything okay?" I was like, "Yeah, everything's fine." They said, "You're not ill or anything, are you?" I said, "No, no." I said, "No, don't panic. I've got rid of a load of weight." And the next question is, "Well, how have you done that?" So I told them, I say, "Listen, this is what I'm doing." And they're waiting for me to say diet, but no, I say hypnotherapy and these sessions. And there's just eyebrows raised. They're just like, "Oh, wow. So how does that work then?" So they're inquisitive as well. And they're wondering how I've got rid of all this weight. And so, yeah, but they're very supportive. And yeah.
Fantastic. And have there been, apart from, you're more mobile, before we close today, could you share anything about how you've been feeling about life in general? Since you've got rid of the fat, have you noticed any differences in mood or anything like that?
Well, I'm a lot more alert, concentrated, aware. I think if we want to turn it slightly deep right now, I'm currently signed off work with depression and anxiety, all because of work-related situations. But in the past, I've suffered with depression, baby loss, and the first thing was the go-to was food, comfort eating. It was actually my way of sort of self-harming. I know it sounds morbid and it's not very nice, but I'm quite happy to talk about it because I know other people struggle and food is their outlay. People rely on alcohol or drugs or other ways. For me, it was food. And with what I'm going through at the moment, and it's a lot better now than what it was a couple of months ago, but even a couple of months ago, there was not a single second inkling of reaching for any food, disappearing in the car down to a car park and getting a rubbish. There is no, my main focus at the moment is, while I'm off, is staying as busy as I can so that my mind is busy and I'm focused on other things. But also there's no reason to be on the sofa. There's no reason to be moping around the house. So this honestly does work. Even when I'm at my lowest, not now, but weeks ago, this is, yeah, me and the wife still don't understand it because I should be on the sofa eating Pringles and junk, but I'm not.
Oh, Adam, that's wonderful to hear. Thank you so much for your frankness and your openness there, because it is, quite often it's challenging for people to go through those kind of things and share it. So I think, you sharing that will help a lot of people. Adam, we are going to finish now and get on about the rest of our afternoon. We've got other things we need to chat about and get talk about how we're going to get James to start helping with some of the things that we've already chatted about, which I know he's going to be 100% up for doing. But for today, Adam, thank you so much. Really, really loved hearing your story. Really loved hearing how well you're doing now and how positive you are in your relationship with food and everything going forward. Thank you so much for all the help and support you give to other members on the Think, Eat, Sleep, Repeat course. And, only today someone was saying to me something, "Oh, and Adam said so-and-so," and that really resonated with me. And, so it's really helping. So I will see you again on Monday evening at 7:00 on the coaching call in the Think, Eat, Sleep, Repeat course. But for now, Adam, thanks very much, and we'll speak again soon.
Thank you, Sue.
Bye for now.
Take care.